Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and tonight in the garage I have two firearms on the table that I was able to take to the range last night. I did take three, and it was the ones I showed you in the previous videos. A Colt Anaconda, a SIG P229 in 357 SIG, and then I also showed you my Seekins Precision SBR that I'm going to do a review on a suppressor. Now, I wasn't able to do the suppressor review because it was getting a little bit late and things were taking longer than I was expecting, because even though I have 24-hour biometric access to my range and I try to go late at night when no one else is going to be there, there were people there. So it's fine, you know, it's not bad, and I can usually film around them, but when it comes to a suppressor review, I kind of have to have the range quiet. You know, you think being at the range at 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday, it'd be pretty much just you. No, it wasn't. And of course, you know, people will be sitting there, they're talking a lot and that kind of stuff. But I was able to get two firearms filmed and reviewed, and I wanted to share with you my thoughts on those and give you my initial impressions. And I guess I have to once again remind people that these initial impressions are not an official review. They're just my initial thoughts on this gun after shooting them. I will film a proper range report on these, and they will go up on the main channel sometime in the future. So if you don't know, this is my second channel. It's my behind the scenes channel. Go check out the link to my main channel in the description below. And so let's talk about the guns I took to the range. And we'll do them in the opposite order of what I reviewed them in. I started off with the SIG, but I finished with the Colt Anaconda. Now this thing is in 44 Magnum, and it is a big boy. And there aren't many guns that I have reviewed that while I'm reviewing them, I hope to get done with the review because it hurts. And this gun hurts, especially with certain loadings of 44 Magnum. Now, I know I'm always going to get the comments of people saying, Jason, you're a wuss, or whatever. They'll be like, my 94-year-old grandma carries a 44 Magnum, and she shot bears and all that kind of stuff. That's totally fine, totally fine. But I have rheumatoid arthritis. And this gun, especially with I think it's like buffalo bore and with like a double tap ammo, it hurts. I mean, it hurts a lot. In fact, I had to work really hard in certain segments of not showing my discomfort when I was shooting to try to get, you know, good footage. Now, I did shoot 44 Special and 44 Magnum through this. Matt provided some ammunition, and of course, I had some ammunition on hand that were sent to me by Brownworks, my ammo sponsor, and of course he makes amazing grips. And so I was able to test this with 44 Special, 44 Magnum that's not as powerful, and then some really hot 44 Magnum. I discovered that although 44 Special is a dream to shoot in this revolver, I don't shoot it very well. Now, I also should give you a caveat. I'm not really that good with revolvers. It's just not my specialty. And that's another thing I know I'm going to get from people. I know there's a lot of people out there that either grew up on revolvers, they're revolver experts, they're revolver shooters, and so they're going to have a lot of criticism of my shooting in the review. And I'm sure a lot of it is fair, and I definitely do not shoot this as well as I do other semi-automatic pistols. So that's just a caveat I'm going to have to give. I'm not a revolver shooter, and I don't like handguns that have so much power in them. There's just, for me, there's no need. It's like that quote from Jurassic Park where they said, I forgot which character said it, but he was talking to John Hammond, the founder of Jurassic Park. He says, you were so concerned asking yourself if you could, you didn't stop and ask if you should. And that's kind of the way I feel about Magnum handguns. You know, it's like once you start getting into a certain power, just get a rifle or a PCC, you know, if it's the power you care about. I just don't understand the fascination with putting the most powerful cartridges in handguns. It just doesn't make any sense to me. After a certain point, ballistically, I don't know what the advantage is, and then it just begins to hurt. You know, I would say, you know, .357 Magnum for self-defense is, more than adequate. Very, 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 very powerful. But once you start to get into, .454 Casull and .500 Magnum, that's just my opinion, guys. It's just my opinion. I know some people are going to disagree, and a lot of it is because I don't understand why you would need it for self-defense. It's not as effective, especially in a revolver, when you can get more shots than in a semi-auto. And for me, it just hurts. And I know, while I have rheumatoid arthritis, I know that other people that don't, but they're not as strong as I am. So I don't know. It's just not my thing. But when it came to .44 Magnum, I actually shot this thing okay. Not great, but my groups with .44 Magnum were so much better than .44 Special, which was a huge surprise to me because .44 Special was so easy to shoot. And at long distances, at 25 yards, it was pretty good. It was about, I don't know, that. So I'm going to take that at 25 yards. Up close, no. And then when I shot this, I'm going to say fast, but I would shoot it in double action at a pretty quick tempo for a revolver, not like what I can do on a semi-auto. I shoot it really, really low. But my biggest issue is that it's painful. It's painful. It's definitely a beautiful revolver. I feel like Colt did a good job in its build. It's just not a gun that I'm interested in because it hurts. And the only .44 Magnum that I personally own is the Smith & Wesson Model 29-10, which the only reason I have it is because it's the Dirty Harry gun. That's it. The only reason I have it. No other reason besides that. I've never even shot it. Don't really want to. But yeah, .44 Magnum is definitely not my favorite caliber. I could do it in like a, like a lever action rifle, no problem whatsoever. But in a revolver, it's just not my thing. And even though this one's big and heavy, it would dampen the recoil a little bit. I can only imagine that buffalo bore and that double tap in a shorter .44 Magnum. It hurt. It hurt a lot. But it worked. I had all my rounds on paper. It's just not for me. But .44 Special, I'm not accurate with it. .44 Magnum, I am. So that's what happened with that one. It has a pretty nice trigger pull, both single and double action, so no issues there. All right, so now let's talk about the other one, the Sig Sauer P229 in 357 SIG. Now this one is more up my alley. Now 357 SIG is my favorite handgun caliber. And usually I find that the recoil of it and the power of it is more than 40. I'm sorry, the ballistics I think are better than 40. The recoil is less than 40 but more than 9, but not as snappy as 40. But this one, maybe because of its size, it was actually snappier than I was expecting, and I did not shoot it as well. I shot it pretty good though. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I shot it at about a 7.5 to an 8. Where on other guns in 357 SIG, I shoot it at 8, 9, and 10. It's usually a great caliber for me. I did remember, because it's a SIG, that it uses the combat sights, so I remembered that on my first shot, so I did not shoot it low. For the most part, it grouped pretty well. I do not believe this particular example has the short reset trigger in it, or the SRT. And maybe it is. I don't know. It doesn't really feel like the SRT. I'll have to compare it to my other ones. The trigger reset's a little bit long, and then the take-up after the reset's a little bit long for me. So I can't shoot it as fast. But another thing about this one I don't like, and it doesn't really affect the performance of the gun at the range, well, maybe a little bit, is the fact that this has the what's called the legacy slide, which has the cocking serrations, which are just on the lower half of the slide. I actually stumbled with this gun on the quick reload. When I loaded the second magazine, and I grabbed it from up here, and I didn't get a good grip on it, and it slipped. So I had to film that twice, and that's just because of that legacy slide. Double action was fine. I really feel like the larger guns, the 226 in 357 SIG is a little bit better than this. I really feel that the ballistics of 357 SIG just work better in a full-size handgun. This one was okay as well. So I'm going to give it a pretty good rating. It just wasn't as good as I was expecting. I definitely shoot my HK USP better than this, and that's also a compact gun. But that was it. So that's how that thing performed. But I do love 357 SIG. It's an awesome, awesome caliber. So those are the two things I took to the range and my personal experiences with them. In fact, I'll even tell you that 44 Magnum hurt my hand so much that even when I rack the slide, I can feel right here in my hand is tired and it hurts a little bit. And I think the main reason is because even though we have these Hogue rubber grips, on the back of the grip, it's metal. And so this part right here was really hurting me. I think if it was wraparound grips all the way back here, it would have been better and softer recoiling. But I just don't see the point in 44 Magnum in anything more powerful. But hey, it's just me. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on either of these and what you think of my initial experiences. As I said, this is not a full-on review or anything, but I got to editing some of the range footage today, and I'll be working on the garage portions of these range reports this week, and hopefully I'll find some time to go to the range when my hand feels a little bit better to shoot the Sequence Precision SBR with the suppressor and get that review going. So anyway, that's all I got for you tonight, just talking a little bit of guns. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and what do you think about these two beautiful firearms. And as always, thanks for watching.